And here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. This is a boxing feature. So before I continue, please check that you're not for only subscribe to the channel, but make sure that you hit the notification bell and make sure you're clicked on all notifications so you're able to see us when we do our live shows. 10% of 11,000 subscribers actually have the notification bell on. If you turn the notification bell off, then you don't know when the next video has been uploaded. Therefore, the next video is sent to your inbox, and also you won't know of any live shows as well. So make sure you click on the notification bell, and so you know what is going on. Okay, please do that. So this video again, must say thank you to Steve and Pemberton who DM me and asked me my thoughts on this particular fight between Nathan Gorman and Daniel Dubois. Wow, it's hot today. So Nathan Gorman, Daniel Dubois. There's some fights I look at and I just, at first I look at, okay, why is this fight happening? Why would they match these two guys? And I kind of think, oh, they could go their separate ways and all the rest of it. But I think so. Also, Nathan Gorman's not a big ticket seller. Well, I don't think he's a big ticket seller. And Daniel Dubois is not really a big ticket seller. You know, they're not, the pair of them are not large in life personalities. They're not like a Dillian White, a Derek Chisora, or a David Haye. They haven't got, at the moment, that star pizzazz. They're, I guess, good fighters, but there's nothing outstanding about them in terms of personality. We know Dubois by his big punching power. Nathan Gorman, we know him because of Ricky Hatton, the pad work, and he's a decent good fighter himself. So both guys can fight, and for different reasons, contrasting styles. One guy is really much loading up with big punches. The other guy, you know, he puts his punch together, sharp, bit of a swarmer, puts his punch together, you know, good footwork, moves his head a bit. So it's different types of styles. Dubois more stand up, more very upright. At times looks like a statue or a mummy moving forward, but let him hit you with a right hand, you're in trouble. And Gorman steady, going about his business. You know, both guys were predicted to do big things in the heavyweight division. So people say, what are your thoughts on this fight? And I didn't quite know. I went to watch Gorman's fights, and I can't say I've been overly excited about Nathan Gorman's fights. That being said, I went and watched Dubois' last fight against Richard Lartey, whoever he was. And that's the way I've got to say, because I wasn't expecting that fight to happen. And Dubois got clipped, as you do in boxing, and he came back and he dropped Lartey. Interesting fight. It was a gunslinging fight. In other words, Dubois started throwing the kitchen sink. I don't know if he started to panic because now he's getting hit back, how he responded. So he was up for a fight and he had a fight. Thing is, if Lartey was a puncher, there were many times where Dubois was swinging in that mix-up and punch-up between him and Lartey. And as exciting as it was against Richard Lartey, to me, I was concerned. I'd have been pulling my hair out saying, what is this guy doing? You know, one of them, all it took was one of them shots to catch Dubois flush on the chin in that exchange and him getting knocked out. We won't be talking about Daniel Dubois today. And I always like to urge or be on the way of caution rather than throwing caution to the wind in a fight like that. In the end, it was a nice left hook, right hand combination to finish for Richard Lartey, and we have this fight now. Now, this is inside information, I know, and if you want to check the interview out I did with Vlad Serenko, currently trained by James Elibashir, who has sparred Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, Bermain Stavern, Alexander Povetkin, Alexander Usyk, Michael Hunter. So here's a guy that knows and moves on a few others as well, who's moved around with some of the top fighters in their heavyweight division. You know, some of the top names we're talking about there. And when you say that, and he said to me, what's your thoughts on Daniel Dubois? Yeah, he's big, he's strong, and he can punch. Like any other heavyweight, he can punch. Didn't say he was an extraordinary, exceptional big puncher, but he's a good puncher. He also said that Joyce is a big puncher too. But he said if you put Joyce and Dubois in the ring together, he thinks that Joyce would beat Dubois because he thinks that Dubois is very basic. And I kind of tend to agree in terms of the way that Dubois is very basic, you know, left jab, right hand, left hook to the body. He's got that. He's got a nice uppercut inside. The thing is, Vladimir Klitschko, for all they talk about Vladimir Klitschko, when he managed to evolve him, he became a guy that threw 2 or 3 punches. That was it. The reason why they did that was to prevent themselves getting countered. So, jab, right hand, only throwing left hook at certain times, throwing the uppercut at certain times, but generally keeping everything to jab, right hand. Very basic. So you're less likely to get caught out or get countered because you're throwing less punches rather than throwing a whole heap of punches, rushing in and getting caught in the counter. That's what a man should kind of slow Klitschko down and let him be methodical behind the jab. So I say that as to say, I can't remember where I'm going with this point now. Klitschko and the jab. I don't know what I'm going with this point, but being methodical. Yeah, Joe Joyce. So he was talking about how Dubois, he felt Dubois was pretty basic. So I was defending Dubois and saying, well, okay, that's not a bad thing because, being basic in throwing in punches, it's okay. But he does seem at times methodical, robotic, and then mechanical in his thing. And he seems very stiff, like Bruno, very top heavy, stiff. And I don't know how many guys I've seen become world heavyweight champion and keep their title for a long reigning time, be upright and stiff like that. You're always vulnerable to get caught over the top with right hands. Don't move your head, almost like Joshua. Don't move your head. Same sort of upright stance. You're moving like a money. There are times I look at Dubois. If you look at the Larty fight, and he just stands like a statue. And he sort of forces the punches through. Don't get me wrong. If Dubois hits you on the chin, you're in big trouble. The big jab, big heavy jabs, and big thudding right hands. Dubois is a specimen of a young man, very big, very strong. And I just wonder that he's going to get bigger even still because he's only 20 or 2021. He's going to get bigger. He's going to fill out even more. So he's going to be a monster of a guy. And, Dubois kind of reminds me in some ways like Pele Reid. Do you remember Pele Reid? Take you back a while. Pele Reid was the kickboxer that turned pro. He was knocking guys out. It's a big punch. But when he actually got clipped himself, it was a different story altogether. And that was the beginning of the end. Dubois is okay. I'm not overly impressed. I call him Daniel Dubious. Because why do people say that? Well, it's not a knock. You just have to look at a fight and say, well, okay, where are we going with this? Yes, he can punch. But he does seem at times a bit one-dimensional. If he's throwing them punches and he's not knocking you out, what has he got next in the locker room? So what can he do next? And what does he do when a guy's up close on him, on his chest, and throwing uppercuts on the inside and working on the inside? Can he fight on the inside? If Nathan Gorman were to put Dubois against the ropes, can Dubois fight in a shootout up against the ropes? Some guys cannot fight backing up. They're great on the front foot. As soon as you put them on the back foot, you nullify their power, you nullify their best strengths, attributes, and then you walk them down and you can knock them out. On the flip side, Nathan Gorman, from what I've seen of Gorman, what's the guy? The guy that Dubois knocked out, Kanju? Whatever his name is. Well, anyway, knocked him out in a round. Nathan Gorman went points with him, as with Joseph Parker. But then Kevin Johnson went points with both Gorman and Dubois. Dubois, without doubt, for me, is the bigger puncher. He seems to be the guy that's the puncher in the fight. And you'd think that Gorman was the boxer. Normally, guys that don't get huge knockouts, you'd think carry a decent chin and durability and can take a bit and come forward. I hope that's the case for Nathan Gorman. I really do hope he can take a punch. Because if he cannot take a punch, I'm not quite sure if he's got enough power to shift Dubois. Dubois is a big lad. I'm thinking to myself, I can't quite pick a winner between these two guys. So let me go look back in their amateur careers. And then, lo and behold, that's where I started to get revelation. So if you look at Dubois' record as an amateur, he fought the under-19 championships in Zagreb. Then he fought, he got a gold medal in Ferry Hill in the English National Youth Championships, Brandenburg, the Youth Championship that was in Germany, Frankfurt in 2015. So I was silver medalist. Then he fought in the European Youth Championships in quarterfinals Poland. He got there. Then in 2016, he fought and got a gold medal in Finland. So, and then since then, he's gone and won the WBC youth title, the area title, the English title, and the WBO European champion and WBO global heavyweight title, whatever that's meant to mean. But anyway, so he's had that there. Now, Nathan Gorman, let me see if I'll bring Gorman up a second. That's his, and of course, he was on the GB squad, Dubois. Let me go back to, and then go to Nathan Gorman and his amateur pedigree, right? And if you look at Nathan Gorman, again, this is off Box Rec. At 11, Gorman weighed 70 kilograms, almost 11 stone, and was fully fledged 95 kilogram, 15 stone, super heavyweight at just 15. Gorman spent 8 years as an amateur and only had 12 fights, winning 11. Gorman won the youth ABAs, 3 nations, and got to the GB setup. He got to the semi-finals of the World Youth Championships, but had to withdraw with a damaged jaw. The British Boxing Board of controls area title and his silver heavyweight title. That's what he's got as a pro. So, in terms of experience, you'd say that Dubois had far more experience as an amateur than Nathan Gorman. And in 8 years as an amateur and had only 12 fights, winning 11. 8 years as an amateur and he had 12 fights. 8 years. I've known guys to have 12 fights, 15 fights plus as an amateur in their first year. Fighting in various tournaments and stuff. So if I go back in the amateur, and then I know Gorman fought the world championships, youth world championships. But in terms of, apart from that, Dubois had far more, he's been around the block a little longer. He's had far more time to acclimatize as a pro, and also having that amateur experience as well will make him acclimatize a lot faster. So the way I look at this fight is this, going back to the amateur records, the answer normally lies there. When I see people like Okoli and Chamberlain fighting, example, I go back to the amateur pedigree and I see why the fight's been made. When you go back again, you look at the amateur pedigree of someone like, again, Okoli fighting someone like Luke Watkin. These are fights where you can see straight away. Or when O'Hara Davis was a classic one. O'Hara Davis, who fought one in the Bucks Cup and then versus somebody in, what's the boy's name again? Oh, I can see now. The Tartan Warrior. I can see him now. Anyway, who's just recently won the world title. And he got beat up there by that guy. God, his name. I forgot the guy's name again. I'm having a bad day today. But yeah, the guy from Glasgow, and he stopped him, turned his back at him. O'Hara Davis, and it's going to burn me now. It's going to burn me because I can see the guys. I can see the guys right there now. Is it Josh Taylor? Sure, it's Josh Taylor. I'm sure it's Josh Taylor. Let me check. Let me Google. I'm sure it is Josh Taylor. I thought it was Josh someone. I knew it wasn't Josh Kelly. I didn't want to say Josh Kelly. I'm sure it's Josh Taylor. Yes, the lightweight, Josh Taylor. And Josh Taylor had a decorated amateur career. So, that's, if I'm going to lean towards somebody now, I'm going to lean towards Dubois because of that. Just the amateur pedigree. There's other things that I lean to as well, because I look at Gorman's style. One of the things Gorman does do, I've seen him do when he's throwing punches, he drops that left hand, he leaves this side open. And Gorman is a sucker for that left jab, right hand down the pipe combination. He really is a sucker for that straight right hand. If there's any vulnerability with Dubois, when he's got his hands up like this, he doesn't move his head, and he could get clipped with the overhand right. So the overhand right for Gorman's a good punch for Dubois. I'd like to see Nathan Gorman get up close to Dubois, get up on his chest. He's got the faster hands. Get up on his chest and push Dubois back. That is how he wins the fight. I don't believe either man wins the fight backing up. But I do believe either man could get stopped backing up. Do you get what I'm saying here? I don't believe either man wins the fight backing up. But I do believe they will win the fight, taking a set of ring. So for me, Dubois got to take the center ring, use that big long jab. That jab's got a lot of power to it. I don't care what Gorman's saying. We sparred together. We sparred together. We've had tremendous wall sparring. But that weren't 10 ounce gloves, or 12 ounce. That they were sparring. They were sparring. You may have wanted to knock one another out, but you guys have not sparred for a while. Physical strength. And, I do truly believe that Dubois is hitting a lot harder now than he was back then. And I hope Nathan Gorman doesn't think he can walk Dubois down. I hope Gorman to win this fight has got to use plenty of head movement. Because again, Dubois is very stiff. Plenty of head movement. He's got to move Dubois around. Don't allow Dubois to line you up with that big right hand. If Gorman's at the end of a straight right hand down the pipe, which it could well be because of the way he drops his hands, if he drops it there and leaves himself open for that right hand, Gorman's getting knocked out. Telling you now, Gorman is getting knocked out. If he stands on the line, hand down by the side, doing that nonsense, and Dubois can catch him with a 1-2, blind with a jab, drop a right hand on him, he knocks Gorman out. Likewise, if Dubois backs up against the ropes with his hands in the air like this, right, I can see Gorman dropping the head on the ropes, right hand over the top. I like the way Gorman puts his punches together, but they all seem to me same sort of combination. Left jab, right hand, left to the body. 1, 2, 3. All seems, you watch his highlights, he'll drop 1, 2, and then drop to the body. And when he does drop to the body, he does leave this head chin open. So again, he's a sucker for the right hand. There must be a reason why Warren matched these two guys up. And maybe he wants to know what he's invested in. Maybe he does. I don't know. But Warren seemed to quite happy to either match Dubois with Joyce or with Gorman. I guess things have changed now because obviously Warren has now got Joyce in his books as well. So I think in a promotional deal, so we'll see. But I'm leaning towards Dubois in this one. Basic, but I just think the man's physically too strong, too powerful. I don't think Gorman hits. He hasn't shown me he's that devastating a puncher. Whilst he's busy, I can't help thinking that Dubois is going to hit too hard for Gorman, and he's going to discover on the night that there's a difference between sparring and a real fight. I just can't help that feeling that Gorman's going to walk onto one and get hurt and get taken out of there. I can't help but think that. I hope I'm wrong. But I said Gorman's not going to win this fight off the back foot. He's got to do it off the front foot, I believe. And he's got to put Dubois on the back foot. So neither guy wins this fight for me. Center ring, taking center stage. One guy's going to give ground. Who gives ground first? And for me, I think Dubois, with that heavy jab and that big right hand and the physical size of the man. There's one thing Dave Allen once told me. He said to me that I spar Joshua and I spar Dubois. Joshua isn't physically that strong up close. But Dubois, when he hit me with a jab, I really shook the whole of my body. That's Dave Allen saying that. So Dubois is a specimen of a guy, and he hits that hard that even Dave Allen said, when I spar with Dubois, he physically shook me. Never felt that with Joshua. So that will tell you something. Nathan Gorman, be very careful. This guy Dubois, as basic as he is, hits like a mule. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Again, please hit the subscribe button, like it, share the videos. Please take the videos, put them on boxing forums, share the knowledge, share the wisdom. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. You guys and girls think as well. It's not just down to guys. Thank you so much. This has been Dubois versus Gorman, July 13th, 2 days from my own birthday, July 15th. I've got a great birthday to have. Gorman, Dubois, Jennings, Joyce, and then next week, Rivas, White, David Price, Dave Allen. The British scene is getting hotter. I'm out. Take care.